Spinning and spinning. There we go.
Round and round we go. Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Thursday morning to everybody. It's going to be a fabulous day. How's the weather there? Are you cold? Are you guys cold in Indy?
I think it's going to rain today. It's like 50 something, like late. I was going to say late 50s. I meant like high 50s.
Very October-ish. It's going to be
very
70s,
October-ish.
Like it just dropped. It was like 90 degrees the other day. It's going to be like 70s for the high. It's going to feel like fall here in Texas. Very sweet.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a nice Halloween for the kiddos here. Finally. Like, how long has it been since Indiana had a nice Halloween?
Forever.
Right. So they're going to have like some 60s and some sun. So it should be good.
Really? Oh my gosh. Good for you guys. It's so wonderful. Okay.
It's not going to last. It's not going to last.
You guys, we should talk about my Patriot Supply.
We should, because, and I have an email about my Patriot Supply.
You do? Oh.
I do. It comes from Jody and Jason Brazelton, who said, today we took the plunge and ordered our 3-month Patriot Supply food order. We even added the fruits and veggie snack pack, probably for those banana chips.
Yes, they did. I see what they did there. Yeah.
Normally, when we shop for groceries, we're very conscious about the labels, as I am a type 1 diabetic and my husband was born with crappy genes and his arteries clogged. It's really scary because we're both very health conscious. We've been talking about doing this for a couple months, but with all the craziness going on in the world and y'all talking and encouraging us every day, we finally did it. Thank you, ladies.
I love it. I love that.
And the great news about our BFFs at My Patriot Supply is that they have literally everything you could ever need in an emergency or disaster. So it's not just food, man. Check out their entire website at My Patriot Supply for all of their amazing disaster and emergency planning sorts of things. Because they have stuff I didn't even know existed.
Right. But it's fun. It's like so fun to look at all this stuff and you're like, I think I need that.
Well, that's the danger, right? You get out there and you're like, oh my God, I need everything.
Right. Super fun. So go check it out. My Patriot Supply.
MyPatriotSupply.com. All right. I have many, many videos to share with you because, as you know, Merrick Garland, Attorney General Merrick Garland was grilled by the Senate Judiciary Committee yesterday, and it was fiery on multiple levels. I don't even have time to play you all the multiple levels, but I do have a couple. I wanted to get to Josh Hawley and then also Tom Cotton because they were both magnificent. And Merrick Garland creeps me out beyond measure.
Oh my God. Me too. No, he creeps me out too. I cannot stand the guy. And he's just like, it's kind of like in Shawshank, he's obtuse. You know what I mean? Remember when he called the guy obtuse? Remember when he called the guy obtuse, and then he got like 3 weeks in the, what do you call it, in the slammer or whatever? What do they call it?
Isolation or like whatever that was.
Yeah, because he used that word. But
the hole.
He got three weeks in the hole, right?
Yeah.
But he is that. He's just so like, I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to just, because I'm better than you kind of a guy. And he's just creepy looking, and I cannot stand him.
I can't either. And he's got the same sort of Fauci voice that's like all gravelly and like rough.
Eyes, and he's just,
and then he looks sickly to me too. Like he just, everything about him just creeps me out.
It's like they take a class in how to be evil. I don't understand it.
Well, and he did a terrible, terrible job yesterday. He's just awful. Thank you, C. Schamberger. Thank you very, very much for that generous super sticker. It's so nice.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. All right. So they were talking to him, obviously, about this whole memo that Garland released saying, hey, parents that complain at school board meetings are basically domestic terrorists. And we know that because the National School Board Association told us. Well, since then, the National School Board Association has apologized. And yet, even though they've apologized and essentially rescinded the whole reason for Garland's memo, he will not revoke his memo. He was asked that numerous times. He will not revoke it. So he got killed while he was testifying yesterday. Here is Josh Hawley.
All I can say is this is truly extraordinary. I think you know it is. It's unprecedented. You can't point to a single instance where anything like this has happened before. And I think parents across this country are going to be stunned to learn, stunned, that if they show up at a local school board meeting, by the way, where they have the right to appear and be heard, where they have the right to say something about their children's education, where they have the right to vote, and you are attempting to intimidate them. You are attempting to silence them. You are attempting to interfere with their rights as parents and, yes, with their rights as voters. This is wrong. This is dangerous. And I cannot believe that an Attorney General of the United States is engaging in this kind of conduct. And frankly, I can't believe that you are sitting here today defending it. I intend to get answers to these questions. You won't answer my questions. I'm going to get answers to these questions. Mr. Chairman, we need to have a hearing on this subject. We need to hear from the Attorney General himself. He needs to come here, take the oath, sit there, and answer questions. We have never seen anything like this before in our country's history. And frankly, I want to say, I think it is a dangerous, dangerous precedent.
So there was that.
Yeah. But I mean, they didn't really get answers, right? I mean,
oh my God. Well, and even when they tried, like all of it, this is so for show. So even as much as I appreciate all the Republican senators who did the things, none of this will have a single consequence whatsoever, which is so frustrating, right?
Because they're all like, resign. And he's just kind of like, I don't have to do anything that you tell me to do.
Yeah. I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to revoke the memo. Suck it. Yeah, that's essentially what he's saying.
Exactly.
Tom Cotton lost his absolute shit yesterday. And it was amazing. I have to make sure that I can find the exact part. Let me see.
We've all read your memorandum. We've also heard you interfered with their transgender policy during Pride Month. And that man, Scott Smith, because he went to a school board and tried to defend his daughter's rights, was condemned internationally. Do you apologize to Scott Smith and his 15-year-old daughter, Judge?
Senator, anyone whose child was raped is the most horrific crime I can imagine, and is certainly entitled and protected by the First Amendment to protest to their school board about this.
But he was cited by the School Board Association as a domestic terrorist, which we now know that letter and those reports were the basis for your.
Senator,
this is
that's wrong.
Shameful. Judge, this is shameful. This testimony, your directive, your performance is shameful.
That's not.
Thank God you are not on the Supreme Court.
Right.
You should resign in disgrace, Judge.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. It was, I mean, no, he's absolutely 100% correct.
I mean,
I think that's the most animated I've ever seen Tom Cotton.
Right?
Right. I mean,
I still want to see him laugh. Like,
Yeah,
I need to see a video of him laughing.
You do. I know. You've always said you want to see him smile and laugh and stuff like that. I don't know. He's not really the smiley, laughy kind of guy. But I was excited to see him a little bit more animated than he usually, because he's very this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's nice to see him, you know.
He was mad.
Yeah. It was
He was
great.
legit mad. And it was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I also there was a reporter during Psaki's, I'm about to hit you with the Psak attack. There was a reporter yesterday who asked her about Joe Biden meeting with the Pope, because he was supposed to leave, I think last night, to go meet with the Pope first before his big European whatever. And now he's delayed that. And I don't even know at this point if he's going to meet with the Pope, because of all the stuff with the Build Back Better stuff that's being stalled by Congress. And now the moderates and progressives are fighting again, and it's glorious. I do think they'll end up with something, but right now Biden is like on this last ditch effort to try to piece something together. So he's meeting with Congress, I think at 9. Anyway, this was when it was still understood that he was going to go meet with the Pope. So there's this reporter asking Psaki, hey, they going to talk about the unborn babies? Are they going to get into that issue at all?
Oh,
and she got so testy. Here we go.
As you know, millions of Catholics will be watching when the President and Pope Francis meet.
Yeah.
The White House has said they will discuss working together on efforts grounded in respect for fundamental human dignity. Question 1, will that include the human dignity of the unborn?
Well, Owen, as you know, although you ask me most often, if not every time, about abortion, but I will say there's a great deal of agreement. Let me finish my answer. There's not. You can ask anything you want. But what I wanted to note, since you follow this closely, is that there's a great deal of agreement and overlap with the President and Pope Francis on a range of issues: poverty, combating the climate crisis, ending the COVID-19 pandemic. These are all hugely important, impactful issues that will be the centerpiece of what their discussion is when they meet. The President has met with him. This will be their 4th meeting. We expect a warm and constructive dialogue. You are familiar with where the president stands. He's somebody who stands up for and believes that a woman's right to choose is important.
Understood.
The Pope has spoken differently. I have just outlined for you what the focus of the meeting will be. I think we're going to have to move on. Alex, go ahead, Alex. Owen, I answered your question. Alex, go ahead. Owen, I answered your question. Go ahead, Alex.
Abortion is murder, and it's like hiring a hitman. Does the president agree or disagree with that?
You know that the president believes in a woman's right to choose. You're very familiar with this issue. We've spoken about it many times. Alex, go ahead.
On the IRS
Sure.
provision.
She was not having it.
Yeah. Then she didn't really answer the question.
No, she danced around it, which is like what she is so freaking good at.
Well, then maybe the Pope will have a discussion with them. Maybe the Pope. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to be mean, but maybe the Pope will like have them and then talk to our president about that particular issue.
I doubt it because this is like a really lame ass Pope. I hate to say it. I'm sorry, Catholics, but it's the worst Pope ever.
He really is the worst Pope ever. But maybe he'll like put on a set and talk to our president and say, you know what, it is like hiring a hitman, and you're doing a piss poor job.
Mm-hmm.
So, and maybe you should be a better Catholic if you say you're a Catholic.
Right.
Yeah. And also talk to Nancy Pelosi about that too.
Thank you, Tanya. Tanya says, I think Abraham Lincoln would have been a lot like Tom Cotton. I can see that. I can see why she's saying that.
Yeah.
There's some like angularity that's similar there.
Right. It says his, because I'm from the South and he has that drawl.
Yeah.
And so I like that drawl. A lot of people they find that off-putting, and I
love it.
And yeah, me too. Well, you married a Southern boy, but I find it very endearing. I like that. When I hear that, I'm like, oh, what? My ears perk up because it's
like your people.
Right. I was raised around Southern boys, Southern gentlemen. So I like that. Yeah.
Laura McNaughton, thank you. She says, good morning, ladies. Last year, right around this time, I started beginning my days with COTR. Thank you for all the laughs and making these awful things tolerable for us.
That's so sweet.
Thank you, Laura. And I'm sorry for the sack attack. Very, very sorry. Yesterday, we spent quite a bit of time talking about Huma Abedin and the part of her book that's now being talked about with the sexual assault by a senator.
Right.
And essentially a guy tried to kiss her in his apartment and she said no. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And that was the end of the story. And she's like, sexual assault.
So basically she and Democrats, because I'm sure Democrats will glom onto that, but she's redefining what sexual assault is. Right.
Well, that's what I was worried about yesterday and what I was criticizing her for yesterday. So now there's a clip of her talking to Norah O'Donnell. I think the whole interview is going to be on CBS Sunday. So now I don't know for sure. And obviously I'm not going to pay money for her book, but now I don't know for sure if she is positioning it as sexual assault or if the media has done that for her and she really isn't, because Norah asks her that specific question. And I can't tell because it's only a 40-second clip if she's saying she didn't think it was sexual assault at the time and now she does, or if she doesn't think of it as sexual assault at all. I'm going to share it with you guys and you can tell me what you think, because I'm unclear how she's really wanting this to be positioned. Let me get this begin. All right, here we go.
I did go back to a senator's apartment, a senator who I knew and I was very comfortable with, and he kissed me in a very shocking way because it was somebody who I'd known and frankly trusted.
Are you suggesting that that senator assaulted you?
I'm suggesting that I was in an uncomfortable situation with a senator and I didn't know how to deal with it. And I buried the whole experience. But in my own personal opinion, no. Did I feel like he was assaulting me in that moment? It didn't feel that way. It felt like I needed to extricate myself from the situation. And he also spent a lot of time apologizing and making sure I was okay. And we were actually able to rebalance our relationship. I did go back.
All right. So
then why share that?
Well, exactly. Right. That's my question. So if she didn't think it was assault, why is this even part of the story?
Right. And if they rebalance the relationship, then why are we talking about this?
And is it going to stay rebalanced now that she's making it public, even though she's not naming him? Like, why is she doing this?
Yeah, because I mean, it's like, I wonder now if the media, because you know how the media is, they're going to be like, let's find out who this is.
Right.
You know, and I'm watching that and I'm like, why did you're totally wanting to bring this up because you want to sell a book and you're gross. That's what I'm thinking the whole time. Am I the only one who's thinking that?
No, you are not. You are not the only one. Because I watched that and I was like, okay, well, so maybe maybe she's not the one that labeled it as sexual assault, but still, there is no reason for this to be brought up. If you have, in fact, rebalanced that relationship, whatever that means, then just have it and like leave him out of your story. This is pointless. This is not a story.
It is. It's not. It's a non-story.
This is like a million skillion women's first date.
Exactly.
With everybody.
Like I said yesterday, this is basically college.
Right.
This is basically that.
I do not get it at all. I do not get it. So you guys, we cannot let more time go by without mentioning our BFFs at My Pillow. I love them so much because they have all the things.
All the things. I want to get a robe.
Yeah.
I want to get a robe. They have, because that's the one. I don't have a robe.
You need a robe.
I know. It's like, that's a story.
But I feel like you're so thin that it will you won't be able to stand up in it.
I'm wrong. I think you underestimate me.
I don't know, man. They are heavy. It's like wearing a weighted blanket.
Oh my God. So see, that's the new workout then. You get a My Pillow robe and you do squats in it. That's what you do.
That's not a terrible idea.
Right.
It's like hot yoga and like also weight, like a weighted thing.
We could do a video on this. Do like a 10-minute workout. You just get naked. You get your My Pillow robe on. You do some squats for like 10 minutes. That's it. You're done. Your day is done. You don't have to work out anymore. That's it, ladies. There you go.
It's not a bad plan.
You're welcome.
And if you use our special landing page, which is mypillow.com/checks, you get a big fat discount on those dreamy robes. And speaking of dreaming, it's buy one, get one on the Giza Dream Sheets right now, too, if you use that code and our landing page. So stop procrastinating. We're getting very close to the holidays.
Right.
Just gift yourself a robe or whatever else from My Pillow.
Exactly. Get some slippers too. Get some slippers too, so you don't have to be barefoot while you're naked and doing your squats.
That's right. We have talked, I know, before about Joe Biden and his big fat lie about that Amtrak story that he keeps telling over and over again, even though it's been debunked a million skillion times.
Right.
So some RNC Research, their official Twitter account, put together a montage of how many times he has changed the details of that story.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's glorious. So let me get my screen shared because this is brilliant.
That is so great.
He's such a big fat liar.
Oh my God, he is.
Okay, let me how do I need to
Oh my God, look at all the different faces of it. It's so great.
Record of the miles you travel in America in an Air Force aircraft as president, vice president. Toward the end of my term, 4th or 5th year as president, vice president, 7 years in. Headlines come out in all the papers. Biden travels, I think it was 1.3 or 1.7 million miles. 1,400,000 miles. 1 million, I think it was 350,000 miles. 1,200,000 miles. 1,300,000 miles on Air Force One. A guy named Angelo Negri came up. He goes, "Joey, baby," grabs my cheek like that. And he said, "Big deal, Joey. 1 million, whatever it was, 300,000 miles. 2 million miles. 1,200,000.
Oh my God.
Travel on Amtrak, Joey." And I said, "No, Ange, I know." And he said, "That retirement dinner, we calculated. We estimated 127 days a year, 119 days a year, 131 days a year, 117 days a year, 121 days a year, 36 years. Plus, as vice president, boom, boom, you have traveled over 2 million miles, 1,515,000 miles, 2 million, I think it was 180, but 2,200,000 miles, 2,100,000 miles on Amtrak. It's a true story.
True story, you guys.
Oh my God. I mean, it's not funny. It's funny, but it's not.
And he just won't stop.
You guys, that's our president. That's the leader of the free world, everybody. That's it. People voted for that guy.
Can you even?
Yeah. Take a moment. Just to everybody take a moment. It's all right. We're all in this together. It's fine. Everybody, it's fine. We're going to bring it in at the end. We're going to bring it in at the end. We're all going to be fine. Everybody's just, it's okay.
Oh my God. All right. So there is an update. There was a press conference yesterday about the whole Alec Baldwin shooting thing.
Right.
Where essentially they said that nothing is off the table when it comes to possible criminal charges, and who those would apply to also very much still open.
It could be him. He was one of the producers. So
he's an executive producer.
Right. So that's the thing, is like he's overseeing the set. So, I mean, he, in essence, could be held responsible for this.
I doubt that he will face criminal charges, but there's no way he's not going to pay out the nose in some big ass civil suits. There's no way.
I totally agree with you on that. I totally agree. Yeah.
And now the AD, so like there's the armorist, right? Who's like that green and purple haired girl who has no idea what she's doing.
No experience. She's like 24. She has no experience. Yeah.
And then, so there's her. So she's the first line of defense. And then there's the assistant director who admitted to investigators, apparently, that he did not check, because she's supposed to like check it and then hand the gun to him. And then he is supposed to look at each, like what do you call the holding? Like where the bullets go? The chamber. He's supposed to look in each one and like do a spin, right, to make sure that they're all either loaded with blanks or not, or they're empty.
Right.
Well, he says that it spun and he looked at least 3 of them, but he doesn't remember looking at the other ones. And so he openly admitted to the investigators, yeah, I should have done that and I didn't. So Alec Baldwin's official Twitter account pounced, right? And Alec Baldwin immediately retweeted that story. So he clearly is trying to separate any response. He wants to separate himself from any potential responsibility, even though he probably should have checked it too. Like he's the one firing it. Maybe you want to be comfortable and check it.
You think? Yeah. I mean, I would. What do you? Oh my God. I mean, you're firing it directly at a person.
Well, I fought so hard with a friend of my husband's from college who is a TV producer now, and huge lib, like we disagree on basically everything. And so he and I had a big fat fight on my Facebook page about this, because he, as a producer, he insists that the actors are not responsible for checking the weapons before they use them, because whoever hands it to them is supposed to do that. So he was like, actors have a lot going on. They're like thinking about a lot of things, and they can't be held, they can't be responsible for being part of the safety chain. And I'm like, if they're the ones that are firing the gun, then maybe that should be part of the safety chain.
Right.
I mean, what the hell?
At the very least, as a human being, you would just want to check. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, as just a QC, I'd just be like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and check this. I mean, these people have handled guns throughout their entire careers. You think they would just look? Just freaking look.
Yeah. And Kirstie Alley tweeted about this yesterday, and she was like, I've done this 100 times. And every time, it doesn't matter if somebody hands me a gun that they have checked, I do a dry shot into the ground. Every time I check it myself. Because she doesn't want this kind of mistake to happen.
Right.
So there was some clear negligence. At best, there was like total apathy and laziness on the part of way too many people on that set.
Right.
So I don't know. It's still an ongoing investigation, but man, that was not right.
No.
Have you seen the pictures of Kirsten Sinema's denim outfit that she's getting blasted for wearing when she was like sitting on the chair of a committee?
No, did she double denim? Like she did Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears double denim it? What's going on? I didn't see it.
Oh my God, I gotta find a picture now.
I have to see it. Did she
Okay,
do that?
so she's getting all kinds of criticism because she was like handling the gavel, right? Like, so she's sitting in the top dog chair, and she was wearing like, I think, a black skirt. Yeah, here it is. She was wearing, okay, I'll show you exactly what
She always wears weird crap, right?
She is a very strange fashion person.
She's very eccentric. But I mean, now who's going after her? Liberals because they hate her right now? Is that
basically everybody? Yeah.
Okay.
So she's wearing tennis shoes, a black mini skirt, a black t-shirt, and then this like cropped denim vest, which is not what you would normally think of as appropriate.
Right.
It's definitely not office attire. So here is what she wore to gavel in.
Okay. All right. That is probably not okay. It's not
very casual.
That's super
very casual.
Super cash. I mean, the purse is cute.
Right. The purse is cute. It has a face.
It doesn't.
No, I like the faces.
Really have a Let me see it again. Let me see.
Okay,
it
I'll
again.
show you. You guys see the face? See the eyes and the mouth?
She's all about purses with faces. This is a mock thing. Yeah.
You can see the line of the mouth and the two eyes, clear as day.
Right. I do. I see it. It's cute. Okay, so yeah, that's not appropriate. I mean,
okay, well, I didn't think so either. But then, like, some people are like, I can't believe people are bitching about something so dumb. Well, I mean,
it is dumb in the grand scheme of things. The world's on fire. It is dumb. So what? She wore that. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? But I mean, but
this
as a
is the
woman,
stuff that we comment on.
but as a woman, we're catty, and so I mean, let's get real. It wasn't appropriate probably for the setting that she was in,
Well, and then like to be the gavel holder and like to be calling the shots essentially for that period of time. It just was
and I mean
off-putting.
We pay you enough to wear a suit.
Right.
And
just be colorful.
Go to Casual Corner and get yourself a suit.
Get yourself something nice from Talbot's. All right, because we're running late, I'm going to share the Elise Myers talk about her restaurant experience, and that'll probably do it for Talks Today, and I'll save the rest for tomorrow because I know people were like, "Why didn't you show the Elise Myers one? We could see her in the preview." So I will. Okay. I will. Here is her story about how awkward she is at restaurants.
Restaurants, yes. But do I push past it and allow myself to have a good time? Absolutely, I do not. Case in point, I went out to eat with my family last night for dinner. I don't get out much. So the fact that this was one of those places where you order at the front and then choose your own table was, please, no, please. I cannot be in charge of any step of the dining out experience. Or one, I will be paralyzed with indecision. Or two, I will make a decision and I will ruin the rest of the night by apologizing for it profusely. So this is how we're starting. I walk up to the front to collect my drink cups, and there are two employees just degrading each other loudly, and I don't know what to do with that. I just interrupt, like, please, can I just have my drink cups? And this girl with her gremlin hands just right inside the cup, just, and then again, and then 5 more times, just, and I'm like, thank you. So that's me eating at restaurants. Thank you. Do I get crippling anxiety?
You know what? I'm not a fan of restaurants either. I know you love restaurants.
I don't like the kind where you have to go to a counter and order unless I'm going to eat fast food. And like that is part of the experience.
Right.
I like restaurants where you sit and somebody else takes care of you.
Right. And that way you don't know about the gremlin hand. You just can't see it because they're doing it in the back. And they bring your food out. So you think it's nice.
You can't see them cleaning off your fork with their mouths.
No, you can't see them in the back going, Here's your plate, ma'am. That's how it works.
Oh my God. I just love her so much. Elise Myers, if you're not following her, literally the entire world is now. She's gone from 15,000 followers to almost 2 million in the matter of,
my God.
yeah, in the matter of just a couple of weeks.
Because the taco experience?
Because the taco guy. Yeah. She's been like on Ryan Seacrest. I think she's probably going to be on Ellen. Like she's everywhere now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like Insta fame.
Why can't that happen to us?
I don't know. We're not as good storytellers, I guess.
No,
She's literally like a female Michael Scott. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. We don't have the taco experience, right? Okay, you guys, bring it in. Oh my God, I need to stretch so bad. You guys, I have my Texan AF shirt on from Becky. Look at it, great.
It is awesome.
I know, great. You guys have a great Thursday. Make it count, okay? And we'll talk to you tomorrow.